Hello, everyone. So I'm linguist and based in Tallinn at Tallinn University. In my course, I will talk about diversity, linguistic diversity regarding Russian literature and Russian culture in general, because, well, basically normally when we're talking about Russian culture, usually we mean about Russian literature, for example, usually we mean literature written in Russian. And also Russian culture quite often is like an equivalent to everything dealing with the Russian language. Uh, and also for those of, for example, uh, some foreigners, some people from abroad, when they visit Russia, and especially Moscow and St. Petersburg, sometimes maybe if they pay attention to the so-called linguistic landscape, what's can be seen around them, this linguistic scene in all those signs and images and a visual representation of language. In most cases, especially if they move around the cities and go to more remote parts of the cities, far from the city center, from touristic places, quite often they will see that this scene is quite monolingual. Monolingual in Russian. There are not so many languages visible. Well, there is some English, but basically usually in the city center and in some touristic places, but it's monolingual. At the same time, if they pay attention to what's going on around them and how people actually communicate, they will hear a lot of different languages, in fact. And that's what we in our studies call monolingual facade of Russia. Because actual diversity is quite often behind this facade. And well, probably we all know this famous quotation from de Custine that Russia is a country of facades. Well, in this respect, it's also true. But in my lectures, 3 lectures, I will try to go behind this monolingual facade of Russian culture and focus on different aspects of the linguistic diversity of this culture and also Russian history, of course. In the first lecture, we will talk mostly about Russia as a colonial empire, about how Russia expanded mostly to the east, to Siberia, the Caucasus, and Central Asia, and what it meant uh, for the country, for the people in different parts of this empire, and different policies towards those people, different definitions of those people also in those languages, and how it all developed through the 20th century and, well, what happened when the Soviet Union collapsed. The second lecture will be devoted to the West Front, to what happened actually in the western provinces of Russian Empire, and how, being on the one hand colonial empire, Russia at the same time put a lot of efforts into being a national state at the same time, especially in western provinces, and its policy towards Ukraine, towards Poland, of course, also Estonia, Latvia, Finland, and to Jewish population, and so on. Well, and the third lecture will be devoted to diversity of the Russian language and also Russian literature in terms of um, different influences, language contexts, and also social inequality and the resulting inequality in the language used by different groups, social groups, different soslovia, different estates in the society, and how all that affected the process of communication, again, also reflected in Russian literature. And we will try to look at this some of those famous masterpieces of Russian literature also as evidences of this actual diversity of the Russian culture. Thank you. That's it.